where people are suing Instagram. I'll tell you why they're suing Instagram in a little bit. I thought it was interesting that they're suing Instagram, and what they're suing Instagram for is that Instagram, Facebook, and these other social media platforms, per the suit, knows that it's addictive, but purposefully works to addict people to their programs, and not being honest with the full long-term implications of what the addiction to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok in particular, and what these other social media apps will be. What are the long-term implications of these platforms? What are the long-term effects of social media? Interestingly enough, it took me back to cigarettes back in the day. Now, I'm old enough to remember a time when, a time when cigarette smoke was considered to be cool. And it really wasn't until a handful of actors died that it kind of changed the narrative. Remember, if you old enough, if you in my age group, you got to be in my age group, I would say at least, because if you a few years younger, Jason probably won't remember this. There was an actor named Yul Brynner. Yul Brynner was a classic bad guy, a movie villain, tough guy. Jaleel, you would appreciate researching Yul Brynner. He was a classic villain, bald-headed. He was like, I think Yul Brynner has some Native American and maybe Italian or something else in his blood. But he was a really strong, tough guy in movies, particularly in westerns. Yul Brynner died of cancer in the 1980s. I remember that. And then after he died, they released a commercial of Yul Brynner discussing the dangers of nicotine and cigarettes, and the fact that if he knew how dangerous cigarettes were, he wouldn't have ever started smoking. Around that same time, well, a few years before that, Steve McQueen died suddenly. Well, what seemed to be suddenly, but he died pretty quickly after he got diagnosed with cancer. Many, many years before that, Nat King Cole died of cancer. Right around that same time, Humphrey Bogart died of cancer. These were actors who were known for smoking cigarettes. They would be on TV, like Nat King Cole would be on TV singing a song or performing with a cigarette in his hand. Ricky Ricardo, also known as Desi Arnaz, his real name, he smoked cigarettes boldly on TV. They thought cigarette smoking was not only okay, some people thought it was good. Interestingly enough, cigarette smoke became popular in the 1920s and 30s, in particular when certain soldiers came home from the war. What they did was they gave soldiers cigarettes free while they were on the battlefield. And you could argue and say they probably needed some cigarettes back then. They probably did. Because, I mean, you out there getting shot at, you out there getting blown up, watching people getting blown up, and that was crazy, and there was something totally unusual, mind-blowing. I have no context. I don't understand what that is. And if you don't have Jesus, cigarettes probably is something that can help you make it through. I'm just saying. But they purposefully presented and gave the soldiers cigarettes. Soldiers come home, and a lot of them smoked. I'm going to connect this. Follow me for a minute. When they came home, for many years, you know who didn't smoke? Women. Women didn't smoke cigarettes back in the 30s and 40s, even the 50s. It was a rare occasion for a woman to smoke. The way the cigarettes companies got women to smoke is that they hired a marketing firm who then asked a doctor and a psychiatrist, how could we encourage more women to smoke? They said encourage women that it is and share with women and present the idea to women that cigarette smoking is a form of female liberation. So by women smoking, it is asserting themselves as not being under their husband's or a man's rule. So women begin to smoke because of a marketing trend focused at a certain specific period of time that caused a lot of women to begin smoking who normally would not have. The question becomes drawing the line and the connection between the algorithm of 2023, The algorithm that suggests videos to you, the algorithm that suggests negative, harmful thinking, ideas, concepts, social constructs, habits to you that cause you problems in the same fashion that the marketing firms suggested certain negative thinking, certain problems, certain actions to Americans back in the day to get them to smoke cigarettes. Question becomes is what are the outcomes? How does that affect us in the long run? People are suing a lot of these social media programs. TikTok is banned in certain universities, in a growing number of universities, and it's banned in the state of Utah between the times of 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that today. Let's see who's in the room. I want to know who's in the room. I want to talk about this today. The danger of social media, long-term effects, long-term impact. Let's see you in the room. Yeah, the crew is in the building. Marion Motley, how you doing, ma'am? Rialto, California in the house. Mocha is in the house. What's up, Mocha? Ashley is in the house. What's up, Leslie? Jermaine is in the house. What's up, brethren? Carol is in the building. What's up, Carol? Black Girl Magic is in the house. What's up, Black Girl? Takesha, what's up, Takesha Waller? How you doing, sis? Steven is in the building. Kimberly is in the building. Good morning. Lakeisha, good morning. John, good morning. Avery, good morning. Pinky Johnson, what's up? That's Donna's sister. What's up, Pinky? Derek, good morning, Derek. Ra, good morning. Talisha, good morning. Hannah, good morning. Mary, good morning. Sonia, good morning. Crystal, good morning. Jocelyn, good morning. Patrick, good morning. Let me see who's on Facebook. See who we got on Facebook so far. Let's see. All right. Oh, I'm not seeing my feed on Facebook. Y'all make sure we on. Listen, y'all, let's get this conversation going. I want to know the dangers of social media. Let's talk about the dangers of social media. And let's not just talk about young people and teenagers. What about the dangers on grown people? What about the dangers on your health? What about the dangers on our relationships? Watch this right here. What about the danger in how we carry ourselves and how we react, how we respond? Stuff we do that we normally wouldn't have done before. Let's talk about that. And then, of course, this whole situation with TikTok, which is out of control, really, for real. I want to get y'all thoughts on that. Listen, call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie, call your cousin, call your uncle, call your friend, call your family member, and let them know that the Akintunde Show is about to start. Let's go.
Another track, late production, but no joke, entertainment, let's go.
Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. So come on, scream it out. Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. Akintunde.
Daily I shall.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what? Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
All right, y'all, listen. Wrong button.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
All right, family. Listen, let's get into this conversation today. I want to talk about the overall effects of social media. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, not Instagram yet. Instagram doesn't have it. They have an app, but I haven't figured it out yet. We haven't figured it out yet. You see me, I have this, I have what's called a Samoan lei on. I'm wearing this Samoan lei. And this Samoan lei, it was a gift given to me by my new friends and family at All Nations Church in Augusta, Georgia. Shout out to All Nations Church, Pastor Louis and Lupe Salt. I was there this past Saturday for their worship, praise and worship conference. and was glad to be there. They added some comedy, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Pastor Louie and Pastor Lupe. Big weekend. We did three comedy dates in 18 hours. 18 hours. That was a hump. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every once in a while I do something and it reminds me, yeah, dude, you ain't young as you used to be. Yeah, you need to make sure that you are managing your sleep, managing your rest. Case in point, today, as soon as I get off the air today, because I came in yesterday, had to deal with a computer problem Jaleel was dealing with, and then I had to get in here and do some editing. Jaleel was tired with that all day. I was doing some editing myself and trying to get some projects done. So it's been a busy week, a busy weekend, jumping right into a busy week. Today, this afternoon, I'm going to home, take me a nap. I'm taking me a nap this afternoon because I came in here today at 4 o'clock this morning. So I've been in here for a good little while. I'm gonna go home and take me a nap this morning. All right. This afternoon, I should say. But let me say this real quick before I bring the crew in. Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, hats, mugs, backpacks, bottles, cups, drinking glasses, lip balm, chewing gum, candy, and of course, t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pnbpromotionals.com. That's pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com. Inspiring, imprinting the best for less. PB Promotionals. All right, family. Kimberly Morgan. Hold on, Kimberly. Kimberly, raise your hand again, Kimberly. Raise your hand again, Kimberly. I saw you put your hand up. Let's get into this conversation. Let me bring Pastor Tuck and Donna J into the building. What's up, family? How y'all doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
There it is.
All right. Good morning.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. How you doing, ma'am? You doing good?
I'm wonderful. You know, I'm up and ready to go. Hey, Pastor Tuck.
Reverend Tucker.
Reverend.
See, why am I not hearing Pastor Tuck? I hear him now. Hey, Pastor Tuck, let me see.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. You good, sir?
Yes, sir. I noticed we don't have any video on any of the sources.
Interesting. Okay.
Hope they're recording.
Jaleel, make sure you're recording. Pastor Tuck said we have no video on any of the sources. You know what, Jaleel? You know what it is? It's look up top at the settings and make sure the settings, the stream is on. The stream is on up top.
You probably in record only.
Yeah.
You probably can't change it midstream either. So
yeah,
we'll have to post this after.
Yeah. Yep, there it is. That's what it is.
I can barely hear Pastor Tuck.
You can't. Okay. All right. Well, we got a lot of little stuff going on here.
You can't hear me?
He's busy. The enemy is busy.
Yeah, he is.
That just means we're going to have something fantastic and wonderful to share.
Right.
And he don't want the message to get out. So y'all stay tuned, family, because it's going to be hot.
It's going to be good. Mm-hmm. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Donna?
Can you hear Pastor Tuck now, Donna? Let me see. Okay. If I turn you up some, does that help at all?
Can you hear me now?
I can barely hear him.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we gonna.
Can y'all hear me, Clubhouse?
I can hear you. I think we can hear you now. Jaleel said there was an error. There was an error based on what it said. So I guess the error is the error. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Okay. All right. Long as it's recording, we can post it later on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kimberly Morgan, what's up, sis? What you want to add, sis? What's going on? How you doing? Unmute yourself, Kimberly. There we go.
I actually just pushed the button by accident. I didn't do it on purpose.
Kimberly, you too young for that. You supposed to be aware, up on all this social media stuff.
I'm aware. I'm trying to get back on track. I had a long weekend. I coordinated my first wedding this weekend
Okay.
for my cousin, and I just got back in town late last night, so my brain ain't all the way back in go mode yet.
Me and you both. I understand. I fully understand. Well, congratulations on that. I didn't even know that was a part of your business.
It's not. It really was like a last minute thing. The guy that she got to do it, he passed away from cancer, and
Oh,
she's like a sister to me. And I knew
Wow.
and had connected with vendors and businesses and stuff to get her going with her wedding. So I ended up coordinating it for her.
wow. You came through like a champ.
Wow. That's a blessing.
Come on. It's good to have good family and friends who would do that for you. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, thank you. I have to do my best friend's wedding in July.
See there? See
It might be a day.
you done mess around and stumble up on a business.
Opening doors.
There's a lot of people
And I
who
wasn't even trying to.
a lot of businesses have folks have started businesses just like that. Something just like that.
We'll see where it takes me.
All right, Kimmy, well, I got you up here.
Praise God.
Let me get you on this topic. All right. So, social media. Okay.
Yeah.
There's this conversation, Kimberly, and people are saying that, not just people, I'm talking about lawyers are saying this, culture is saying this, the government is saying this, that social media can be blamed for a lot of the actions, for a lot of the mindsets, for people even committing suicide, having eating disorders. Real quick, what's your thoughts? Do you think that is do you think you can accurately blame social media to the point where you can sue them for technically our own personal behaviors? What's your thoughts?
I mean, these days you can sue anybody for anything because that's the season of which we're in, to find a reason to sue people. But it does have an effect. It has an effect on the mind. It has an effect on people. My 12-year-old niece, she's a small, cute little girl, and she feels like she needs to lose weight because of what people saying on social media and what her friends are saying. And she will only eat maybe once a day if nobody pays attention.
Wow.
So it has a major effect on how things are portrayed. Everything is not always what it seems to be in somebody else's life, but when it looks good on camera, people are going to try to follow it.
Interesting you say that, because one of the conversations, one of the allegations and one of the lawsuits is actually brought on by a family whose daughter committed suicide. For number one, because of she had some body imaging issues. She began to think that she was had too much weight on her. She started looking at certain videos that their parents say that Instagram suggested to her that caused her to think this way, and began to show her a lot of videos that had conversations and tactics connected to anorexia. And then this young lady wound up committing suicide. Wow. Her parents are now in a lawsuit against Meta, the parent company of Instagram. So when I first saw it, I was like, well, man, I said, now I understand that this culture and social media and all of these different things can make suggestions to you. But I was kind of like, well, but that's kind of in that onus on her or her parents. But hearing you say what you said, now, again, having no idea what we're talking about, to know that somebody in your family is in a small way dealing with some thoughts, just some simple thoughts because of social media, kind of brings full context to what that young lady's parents are saying that social media calls her. Wow, man. Final thoughts for you before I release you, Kimberly. What's your position as a family? How do y'all respond to that?
Well, she lives in Atlanta, but I call her a lot. Like that's my sweetheart. So I don't have any kids, so I'm always in contact with my little ones. And what she may not be comfortable speaking to her parents, I'm like, look, I'm not going to shame you for it. I'm not going to judge you for it. Whatever you need to talk about, if you need me, call me. I'd rather you tell me now before things get worse,
right?
Versus you trying to figure it out yourself as a 12-year-old. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, Anaya, you're a beautiful girl.
Right.
It's nothing wrong with your shape. It's nothing wrong with your color, anything. Like, don't judge yourself based off of what a kid at school said or what you're seeing on TV or social media. So I just try to reiterate that into her and send her love messages and things like that, just to show encouragement so that she will build her confidence up in a positive way versus on what she's seeing.
Wow.
Amen.
Praise God for you doing that for your family, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you, Kimberly. All right, y'all. Let's get into this conversation, family. So the question is, before I swing it over to Pastor Tuck and Donna, the question is, do you personally believe, people, that a app, Facebook, Instagram, or social media in general, particularly TikTok, can be blamed for someone's feelings, thoughts, and actions, and legally blamed? So, like I said, right now, from what I understand, the research that we've done, that Don and I have done today, says that there's currently 1,200 lawsuits against Instagram and Facebook. And folks are blaming, are suing them for various concerns, various outcomes. Several families, I should say, are suing Instagram in particular because of their children having anorexia and depression. And like I said, multiple families have had children to commit suicide, and they are directly linking it to the social media app. So the first question is, before we get into anything else, Donna, Pastor Tuck, do you believe that a company, a app, can be held accountable to the degree that they are legally responsible in some way for a young person or even a grown person making the decision to harm themselves or even take their own life?
Okay, did you say can they or should they?
That's a good question. Thank you for that. I guess the question is, should they? Should they be held accountable?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. Unpack that, please. Unpack that.
Because I can't remember the name of the Netflix special that I watched. I mean, you might remember the one that I'm talking about, where you had the guys that used to work for Facebook at the time.
The Social Dilemma.
Instagram. Yeah, Social Dilemma. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't seen Social Dilemma, you need to go watch it.
Yeah.
But these are the guys that helped design the algorithm.
Yeah.
And these guys literally, because of their conscience got to them.
Yeah.
And they quit this company. These guys are multimillionaires.
Yeah.
And quit the company because of their conscience.
Right.
Because of what it was literally, what they had, the monster they had literally created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so because of that alone, they absolutely knew what it was doing. Mm. They had every intention that it was designed for this purpose.
Wow.
So it's just like with the tobacco companies. Mm-hmm. This is not the fact that, okay, we didn't know tobacco was addicting, because tobacco is not addicting.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you're putting formaldehyde and all these other chemicals in here.
That's right.
To make it addicting.
Right.
And these are cancer-causing agents.
Right.
So now you cannot say, oh, we didn't know. Yes, you did. Mm-hmm. This was a plan. You just didn't care because you were more concerned about your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the issue that we have in this country, in this world. It's just like ConAgra and this thing with, like you said, when we were talking about food the other day, mm-hmm. They got corn in everything. This genetically modified corn is in absolutely every product. And they're looking the other way because they literally said, we want a way to make money and to make food addicting. Mm. But the government is in cahoots on that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The government turns their head. They allow it. They take lobbying
and they're taking
money.
the kickbacks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they're taking the kickbacks. And so, and this is the issue. So like you said, whether they can or whether they should are two totally different things.
Right.
Because whether they can or not is going to depend on how many people they done paid off.
Mm. Wow.
Or whether they should, absolutely, because you have deliberately done something to impact people's lives, and you're doing this This is literally Undercover Brother. This is literally the plot of Undercover Brother. They are literally the Man International. Multi what is it? Multicultural. I forgot that name of the name of that company. But that the Man worked for. But this is literally the Man.
Wow.
And they're literally doing this for that purpose. And for so many people, I used to think that everybody was like me. Mm-hmm. And I realized how much of an anomaly I am. Mm-hmm. Because it looks like to me, everybody is addicted to this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm on my phone because I'm doing stuff.
Right.
I mean, because I have stuff to do. I'm not sitting here watching TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. I mean, if I pick it up, I may watch something because somebody sent me something.
Yeah.
But I'm not going down rabbit trails. I don't do that.
I tell you what, though, if you mess around and mess with it, it'll get you though.
But I done had this thing in my hand for I don't care how many years. It doesn't interest me like that.
But you know, we're in a different generation though. Mm-hmm. I think that's a big factor in it too.
But what I'm saying is, you do it, Donna will do it, my wife will do it. So it's not even a generational thing. It affects people. It just doesn't affect me like that. But I didn't realize that it affects so many people like that. It has the ability to grab people like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It just doesn't grab me like that. And I used to think that everybody had that ability to say, this is crazy. But everybody's not like that.
But everybody is not comfortable in their own skin. They're not comfortable with their own decisions. And everybody, and a lot of people, grown people too. I'm coming to grown folks a little bit later on. But for right now, we're talking about young people. But folks judge their worth, their value, their status, where they are in their life based on what somebody else is doing on social media. People buying houses and cars, going to all kind of debt, going on vacations, putting stuff on credit cards simply because they saw somebody on social media doing A, B, C, D, and E. We'll come back to the adults in a little bit, but I think to your point, I think that, and I'm gonna come to the comments too. I see y'all dropping a lot of comments in there. To your point, I think that we have to recognize that there's a bigger machine, like you mentioned the undercover brother. I ain't thought of that's funny and relevant. There's a bigger machine that's contributing to this. This ain't just, oh, we like this, or I kind of like that, or that's my thing, or I have a leaning or a bent towards this type of this or that type of that. No, there's a bigger machine that's contributing to that, and it's much, much, much more deliberate than we even recognize. Donna, go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I agree with what Pastor Tuck was saying, because I'm looking at the statistics here. 1 out of 4 people that are watching TikTok, just TikTok, are under 20. Okay,
1 out of 4.
So 1 out of 4, you have 57% of TikTokers are female. 57.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
And 47.4% are under the age of 30. So you have your youth watching all this content.
Right.
Now, we are, because of those numbers there, we are allowing our children, you know, are we not watching what they're consuming? And that question is like, are we not watching what they're consuming? But are we watching what we're consuming also?
Correct.
Because they're consuming, and they're going to consume it outside of home. You know, you can watch them at home, but they're going to consume it because their friends are consuming it.
Correct.
So are they responsible? Yeah, yes, they're putting it out there for a specific reason,
right? Because
of the green. You know, I always say, you know, when it comes down to black and white and yellow and brown and whatever, it's about the green always. That is the utmost color, green.
Yeah.
You know. So, yes, I do think that they are responsible, but we are also, they're socially responsible, yes.
So my
but
question
we
to
are
you is,
also responsible.
So do you think it's fair? Do you think Instagram should be able to be sued, or whatever, TikTok or whatever social media platform, do you think they should be sued legally binding, legally responsible for a young person to have anorexia, suffer with anorexia, or have increased or intense depression, or even commit suicide? Do you think they're legally binding?
You have to, this is
Responsible.
your business. This is a business. You have to be responsible for your business. You're responsible for what you put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's destroying people's lives, then you have to take that as well. That's a consequence of what you're putting out there. And you have to take that as well. So yes, I mean, if they can do that, I would, yes, go for it. If I lost my child, I'll be looking, why are, you put this content out for my child to consume.
Right. Right.
I'm responsible in the fact that it's in my house,
Right.
but it is out there for them to get it to come into your house.
To your point.
But watch this. Ak. You're responsible if you do something negligently. That's mean if you do it not knowingly and it causes harm. They hold you responsible for stuff that happens as an act of negligence.
Right.
You just have a lesser penalty when it's an act of negligence.
Correct.
This was absolutely intentional. So there's no question of whether or not should you be sued for this. They did research. They didn't come about this, this might be addicting. They actually had scientists say, how does this affect it? They hook people up.
Wow.
To find out what is the most addicting. They did the research to find out what is the most addicting. There's a reason why they're mostly women. There's a reason why the scroll is in the direction that it is, and it uses the motion that it does, and why it affects women that way.
Right. Interesting.
And I want to jump in here with that. Smoking and sugar and things like that are physical addictions.
Correct.
This is a mental addiction.
Yeah.
So but nonetheless, an addiction.
It's even more nefarious. That's even more nefarious.
Exactly.
To your point, to both of your points, is Leslie actually dropped in the comments. She said they anticipated being sued. Cost of doing business, they say.
Oh, look at that!
Wow.
See, they knew.
Yes,
it.
can you imagine how much money they have? They like, that's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
They're not worried about this.
Watch this right here. TikTok in 2020 was raking in $700 million. In 2023, they're raking in $6.8 billion. TikTok is the number one platform, and they have 150 million users in the United States.
Wow.
The number one platform in America. Facebook is the number one all over the world. But TikTok has 150 million.
TikTok is owned by China, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I'm coming to that. That's a whole other part of the conversation, because that's the whole bite dance. That's what Congress. That's what they're meeting about. And that whole congressional hearing, that was a farce. That was ridiculous. I don't know who prepared these congressmen to ask these questions. They clearly didn't really understand what they were like. So TikTok. Tell me about TikTok. It was hilarious. It's like your granddaddy who way just out of pocket, who way it's on the way to answer questions.
Tell me about this book face.
He on that book face. Let me get some more of y'all comments in. Marquita Count said, I think they should have to adjust the algorithms or allow parents to have control the way YouTube does for kids. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go up there and read what Paul said. Paul Brick.
Hold tight. If you actually believe that YouTube Kids is actually for kids, then you raise it.
Well, you do at least.
No disrespect, Marquita.
But you do have at least some control with YouTube over what you're seeing.
What I'm saying,
what they're saying.
That's like the junior devil.
He said the junior devil. Paul
That's like the
said,
devil's son. That's like the devil's son sitting there going, "Hey son, this your project right here."
You got him.
Paul Briggs said Utah has signed a law recently requiring social media limit use to minors and parental consent for minors to even have access. Okay, I watched that a few times over the weekend. So there's several stories about that. They actually had the governor of Utah on NBC over the weekend, and he was answering questions. Essentially, a lot of folks are saying that's Big Brother. Where does it end? If you start doing it with TikTok, where does it? How can you cross the line into other things? What if they don't like something else? And I get that mindset, that notion. But the problem is you allowing this social media platform to run amok without any type of consequences, repercussions, or any restraints. And you don't fully know what this app can do. Because on Thursday, we're going to be talking about AI, artificial intelligence, which has changed the game. Which is like the stuff that I'm doing in my business with this AI is mind blowing. But as I'm doing it, I'm looking, I'm like, yo, like if I know that it can do this, what can it do that I don't know about?
That's right.
And by the time we get to it, that thing is way down the road. Like, what am I tapping into? What am I feeding into? It's a lot to consider and a lot to think about. My point is simply this right here, is where does responsibility lie? Again, here's the question for y'all. Do you think a company should be held legally liable, responsible for the thoughts, the actions, and even someone committing suicide? Should they be held responsible? Please drop that in the comments. Continue. Thank y'all for y'all comments. I'm gonna read a couple more, and then I'm gonna get back on we'll see what Don and Pastor Tuck talking about. Leslie Ashley said, whether something is allowed by government should not be the standard. The government is massively behind. I agree. Marquita Count said, Alyssa, I tell my girls that all the time. What did Alyssa say that you tell your girls all the time? Marquita, I got to go up there and see. Kimberly Morgan said, it's definitely psychological, but technology desensitizes people. It really does. It really does. It desensitizes people to a lot of things. Okay, Marquita said, I think they can be blamed, but legally no, because it's going to come from somewhere. So we would have to hold everywhere the kids go, see, hear. Why are they stopping at the app? Sure, they're favorites, rappers, in the news. Responsibility is with me and my children to discuss things.
Exactly.
Okay, I really appreciate that notion and that mindset and that thought, Marquita. Question still becomes legally. Okay, there's a whole commercial out right now. Like one of them mesothelioma commercials. Like, are you having depression? Are you having suicidal thoughts? And are you consuming a lot of social media? Call this law firm. There are literally commercials out right now encouraging people to be a part of a class action lawsuit, which is about money. That's a money grab anyway for attorneys. Because you're gonna call in, they'll give you $200, and they're gonna go and make $2 billion.
Exactly. But let's touch that point that she just made. As far as no, we shouldn't be able to, because it's out here everywhere. Yeah. But see, this is the difference. The difference is like saying, well, weed out here everywhere, so you can't sue the weed producer. Right. It's a difference when weed is out here everywhere and you have a choice. It's a difference between that and them blowing weed through the vents, and you don't know it. That's the difference, because when you're sitting here and, like you said, and they're intentional doing something that affects you and you don't know how it affects you, that's something totally different. Once again, we're not talking about, like I said, tobacco is addictive and I should know better. This is something you're intentionally putting something in here to take advantage of me, and I don't know it. That's like you saying, well, alcohol, she had a drink. No, I slipped you a Mickey. That's a difference. And so you can't say that that's the same, because I didn't have an option to make a conscious choice at that point, because you stacked the deck against me. And they're constantly doing that. And they intentionally did it. It was designed for this purpose. Because remember, when the internet started, the internet was just supposed to be an electrical encyclopedia.
That's right.
That's all it was supposed to be.
Right.
We were supposed to have access to information. We were supposed to have electronic communication. We were supposed to have faster mail. And that's how all of this started. And then somebody said, okay, well, we'll give them access to be able to have a social platform, to be able to talk to their friends. We had stuff like MySpace and Black Planet and those kinds of things.
Right.
And that's what they were. So these were innocent things, and nobody was addicted to those. But then somebody said, okay, wait a minute. What if we did this? Because all these people are out here.
Right.
What if we did this? And so now we're consuming something that was totally innocent, and now they slipped us a Mickey.
Interesting.
It's like sugar.
I'm looking at a comment here from Yoshi. I'm sorry, brother. I'm gonna mess your name up. Yoshiyahu Ben Yaquab. I know I messed your name up, sir. I am so
Yes,
sorry.
you did.
Yoshi.
Yes, you did.
Yoshiyahu
It's okay. It's okay.
Ben Yaquab.
Okay.
Okay.
It's close enough.
I'm glad you're laughing. Thank you, Ben. He's laughing.
Just call him YB. Just call
Yoshi.
him YBY. All right.
Yoshi.
But his comment makes a lot of sense. He said the U.S. should not allow an app from a country, namely China, who is a global competitor, both economically and militarily, and that has demonstrated that it has a zero respect for privacy and intellectual rights to operate within its jurisdictions. It possesses a grave threat. And to that point, look how bold China has been getting just in the past few weeks.
Sending balloons and everything.
The only problem I have with that comment is that you actually consider China a global competitor of ours. Do you think we even have the capacity to compete with China anymore? Let's stop fooling ourselves. That's like saying a high school player compete with LeBron nowadays. That's where we at. That's where we at right now. Let's be for real with ourselves, okay? Maybe once upon a time we were on that stage, but those were the glory days.
Wow.
Okay.
So you think we just out of gas? We just so far behind China?
Oh yes.
All China gotta do is call in their marker.
Yeah.
China say, hey, pay your bill, player, or we come and get you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Kimberly Morgan said TikTok isn't even allowed in other countries, so why do we have it? Why do we have to be different? Interestingly enough, there's a different version of TikTok in China, and even that version,
of course,
is not as limited.
They're not going to subject themselves to their own stuff.
That's right.
You have to recognize this. This is one of the reasons why we are not who we used to be, and we're not who we think we are.
Yeah.
We eat food here that don't nobody else eat in the rest of the world.
Yeah. That's so true.
Third world countries don't eat the trash we eat. Third world countries say, nah, take y'all keep that.
We good.
You carry a bag of Cheetos over to a starving country, they like, no thank you. I'll stick with this rice.
Like, how you get that? How you get them chips red cup red? Consistently,
Exactly.
every chip.
They like, nah, player. Y'all can keep that. I'll stick to the rice.
I'm straight.
This gruel will be all right for me.
More, please.
Come on.
Wow.
We are backwards.
And that's the thing. And so and how do like I told you, they got a video out, and I saw somebody sent me that. Like I said, they got, and it shows and the kids are like 7 to 10 years old, sitting around making TikTok videos, and then they show kids in China, 7 to 10 year olds, and they stripping down and putting together handguns, whole classroom of them. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many things that make us weak as a country. Namely, the fact that we're the only country that has such a high focus on comfort. The majority of stuff that we do in America is based on keeping us comfortable. Keep whether that's sugar, whether that's video games, whether that's all these streaming platforms, TV, all of that. The fact that we are continuously reducing the quality of education just so we can accommodate the laziness of the current young people and parents ourselves.
Yes.
The game has changed in America on so many levels, and meanwhile, other countries are pushing and pressing forward with new ways of educating, new ways of preparing themselves financially, delayed gratification. We save as opposed to spending, where America literally does things to make you spend more money, to stimulate the economy, to make more money off of you, and fully recognize we need to be holding on to cash. The bottom line of it is it greatly weakens us as a country, as a people, and no other country in the world does that to this degree.
Man, I'm looking at Kimberly Morgan's comment, and she said kids don't hardly get homework anymore. And
homework?
I was like, wow, because I asked, because my daughter, she has a 9-year-old and a 7-month-old. And so I asked her all the time, you know, is Max doing, what's he doing? Is he doing his homework? She was like, they don't have homework.
Interesting.
I was like, what?
Homework? These kids can't write in cursive.
Nope.
They can't do. They can't do math on paper without a calculator.
Nope. They can't.
And I'm
they
like,
can't read on regular
you got
clock.
kids in China that can do. That's what I'm saying. They can't do an analog clock.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm like, they can't read a map.
Yep. They got Google
you
Maps.
Want to talk about and you want to talk about what?
Jesus. Just that alone. You talking about a generation that cannot read a map at all. That means if there's no internet based, satellite based, I should say GPS, they got a problem.
They're going to be standing right there for 3 years. They're going to be standing in the same place because they won't know how to get out of there.
Can't read a map. Have absolutely no clue. You cannot read a regular old school clock or old school watch. That means you can only use a digital clock. That's scary when I think about that. Boy, that's
Once
scary.
again, commercial for homeschooling. Kingdom Academy. Jason Earls will back me up on this. Like I said, I taught my kids. My kids were not allowed to use a calculator till they went to community college.
Wow. Wow.
And my kids went to community college. And my kids went to community college in 11th grade. They did 11th and 12th grade in community college, and that was the first time they touched a calculator.
Wow.
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 And when they went and took their SATs, the kids in there were panicking at the section that you can't use a calculator for, and my kids are like, "What is that?" They do math. They do math on paper like it ain't nothing.
Wow.
Both my girls were engineers. Have getting their engineering degree in 3 years.
Shout out to homeschool.
Like it ain't nothing. Because, like you said, I was like, "Nah, y'all not gonna be walking around here don't know how to handle yourselves." I took my kids back a generation, even from where I was.
Wow.
Because I was like, I saw even some of the liberties and some of the comforts that my parents gave me were some of the things that even got me in trouble.
Such as?
And that was in the 80s.
But I mean, give me an example of when you say some of the liberties, some of the things that made you uncomfortable. I got to know a couple that I can jump out to me immediately when I think about it.
Yeah. And see, my parents didn't monitor the stuff I watched on TV.
Okay.
They didn't monitor my music. You know, when I got to a certain age, like when I was about 13, like I tell you, my mom gave me the talk. She said, "You go to jail, I ain't coming to get you because my taxes ain't paid. And if you make a baby, it ain't coming back in here because I ain't raising nobody's kids."
Wow.
That was her rules, but that was it.
Right.
Other than that, I was free to do anything else I wanted to do. So I skirted that line as close as I could.
Wow. Stayed out of jail.
But how many times I was close? How many times I was close to dying? How many times I was close to getting locked up? How many times I was close to having somebody's kid out here?
Yeah. Woo.
And it was like, it could have, I mean, the scales could have tipped with a feather. You understand? And so I'm like,
You sure ain't no little tuckers running around? Ain't no little tuck, somewhere in Virginia?
yeah, I'm sure.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Because I won't, look, even though I was crazy, I won't reckless.
Well, I was reckless.
That was one thing about me. Yeah, I saw my friends, they were reckless. I was like, nah, I don't play the reckless route. I'm crazy, but I ain't reckless.
I was reckless, and probably the thing that saved me, probably the reason why I don't have any children, is because my sexual prowess began to expand in the 80s and 90s in the boom of the HIV/AIDS scare. So it's like, oh no. And I saw people. My neighbor, my next door neighbor died of AIDS.
Wow.
And
See, my whole
so
thing.
I'm like, oh no. Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Oh,
we ain't doing that.
When they first told me about a shot, when they first told me about a shot at the clinic, I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna get no shots. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
There was a very who that is? That's Kimberly.
That's me.
Go ahead, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Jason in the back. No, Jason was
I just
here.
wanted to say something real quick. I just wanted to say something real quick. I mean, you were talking about the whole AIDS thing.
Uh-huh.
My mom was diagnosed with HIV back in '93. She got it after she worked direct with Highway Patrol, Bloods Cross.
Wow.
And she used to, yeah, she used to do speaking events and counseling and stuff. But as the years progressed and pharmacies and everybody started coming up with all these different pills, it was like talking to a wall. It was like, if you get it, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
take a pill.
there's a pill for it.
Yeah.
So like as time progressed, nobody really cared about how you got it or that you could get it. And it's the same with technology. It's like if it happens, it happens. It'll be posted about, or somebody will be able to do something about it. So everybody is just like in their own little world these days.
But you know what, Kimberly, to that point, and thanks for sharing that. In the testimony that your mom was able to make it for so long. After that diagnosis, and I just, it's heart wrenching to think that she got it doing a noble thing, but to your point, that people today are casual about it because you have commercials, and I'm getting back to the topic, y'all. But we have commercials that present HIV or the medicine for HIV like it's a common cold, like
they're like, oh yeah, if you're undetectable. I'm like, undetectable, bro? What are you talking about?
And they show them so happy and
Yeah.
loving, and then real small letters they'll show, or
Yeah.
they make it to music
Yeah.
about the effects, the side effects of taking the pills or whatever you have. They make it real, it's
And-
so happy and everything.
And another slight
just
point:
some
those
awkward
commercials are
commercials.
outlawed in other countries.
wow,
Really,
wow.
Jason
Yeah,
said something. What'd you say, Jason?
You can't make those party commercials about drugs in other countries.
Interesting. Wow. See, I didn't even know that.
No,
Jason
you
Earls,
cannot.
hop in this conversation, sir. We're
Go ahead,
talking
Jay.
about the dangers of social media. The question was,
Good morning, brother.
do you believe that a company like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok in particular, which is now number one, in America at least, do you think that a company should be held accountable for if someone is depressed, is anorexic, or even commits suicide?
Well, I just want to say regarding those commercials, man, they're the most awkward looking commercials I ever seen in my life. First of all,
You talking about the prep commercials?
I'm like-
that prep commercial?
I'm like, sir, why are you dancing with that dude, sir? Like that,
Yeah.
Here you go.
do slow track.
Yeah. I can't watch them.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
I was like, sir,
Not doing that.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
why y'all putting this in front of me? I have no
Oh, yeah.
desire whatsoever.
They
See
breaking
y'all
it down
two
for you.
sword fighting. I don't want to see no sword fighting. Prep.
Daily I shine.
As we move on, gentlemen, as we move on.
Yeah.
As
Thank
we
you,
move
Donna.
on.
Thank you, Donna, for getting us out the
No, whatever. No. I'm like that old man. No, I'm gonna say it, dog.
Say it, Jason. Say it,
We
Jason.
got you. We got you.
Get off
We
your
got you.
lawn.
We understand. We got you.
Yeah. And then, first of all, I do apologize for being late, man. I'm gonna fire my road manager, man. I'm firing my road manager.
What happened?
Who is me? So my phone died, and all I had was a physical map, and I couldn't read it.
See, even though Jason homeschools his kids, he was not homeschooled.
No,
I know better than that.
no. So speaking of that, dude, I love reading maps. In fact, when we go on road trips, sometimes some road trips I'll print out the map code, old school,
Wow.
and I'll put it in the back and say no phones.
Okay.
And if y'all don't get us there, we ain't gonna make it.
Wow.
That's beast.
That's
That's
good.
beast mode.
Yeah.
Beast mode.
Wow.
Beast
That's gangster.
mode.
That's gangster.
Dude,
That's why
you
Jason, my
should
dude.
hear. We'll be coming up on the exit. Well, I know. I'm like, is this the exit? Y'all tell me. Let me take the call. Give it back. Let me take it.
See, but to that point, I'm thinking about now because, like, I'm so spoiled with the GPS. You talk about somebody who used to live on an Atlas. I'm talking about I'm an old school road comic. Before, I mean,
I used to love having atlases in the car.
yeah.
Keep an atlas in the car, yo.
And then you mess around that bad boy, done changed because you don't have a new one. This is the one from 1996. You using the one. It's 1998. And you don't realize they got a whole new highway now.
Yep.
They got a whole new interstate that they done brought in through here. So now you off following that old map. Oh, boy.
What you know about being so lost? You get outside the car and put that thing on the hood of the car. And like, let me see here.
Yeah, talk to him. Them fold out maps.
This
Stop at the gas station. Yeah. Can I get a map, bro?
Come on. This is how you know. This gonna sound sexist, but when back in the day, I would only take directions from an old man.
Oh, wow.
I would not take any directions from a young person. Oh, I'm sorry, ladies.
No, sir.
Or female. I would look for an old man. Sir, can you tell me now? All right, and what you gonna do? Is you gonna go down here? You gonna go down here by 3.2 miles?
Turn right on 15.
15. Now, if you go too far, if you see that Walmart, you done gone too far. Turn around, come on back, take 15 all the way out. 15 all the way out. 15 miles. You all the way out. You right there. That's the directions that you can follow.
Make a left at that Piggly Wiggly up there. Left at that Piggly Wiggly.
I know some of the ladies mad. What's up, Sister Katrina in the building? What's up, sis? How you doing?
That's why they couldn't find where they was going.
Jocelyn is in the building. Alyssa's in the building. Todd is in the building. What's up, Todd? Nathalie. I love it. Nathalie's in the building. Jamaica is in the building. Crystal's in the house. Roland is in the house. Yoshiyahu is in the house, and I'm calling Ben. Katrina's in the house.
He at it again.
Say Yoshi.
Yeah, that's what a shout out. That's what a shout out. Jamal Bates.
Just call him Ben.
The Jamal Bates Morning Show is in the house. Yo, comedian Chris Clark is in the building, y'all. What's up, Chris?
Chris, what happened?
Hey.
The hilarious Chris Clark. D is in the house. What's up, D? Kimberly, what's going on? Leon is in the building. What's up, Leon? Paul is in the house. The Ox Show family is in the building.
Yes,
family.
Yes.
So a couple of things that I really want to make sure we get into. And so you got this new ban from Utah. Utah is banning TikTok for certain hours during the day. Mind you, currently right now, Congress has banned TikTok on all house phones. So if you are a house member and you have a government issued phone, you cannot utilize TikTok on your government issued phone.
Right.
31 states have certain blocks on TikTok. Okay. And so my question of it is that a bit too far? Are we opening the door for them to block other things, for them to determine that this app is not good? I fully understand and agree that you have to do something, because I just feel like we too far out of control. I want to talk about grown folks in a little bit before we get up out of here, because it ain't just the young people.
Nope.
My question of it is do you recognize, you who watching this on replay or listening to this right now, do you recognize just how much you are controlled, just how much deliberate it is? It's not just by accident that you chose that credit card. It's not just by accident that you're wearing that outfit. Let me tell you something, ladies. If you use this term right here, and I hate when I hear men using this term, but if you use this term right here, ladies, it's the disrespect for me. It's the chocolate for me. It's the haircut for me. All of that social media. That's trendy stuff. That stuff you picked up on social. It's the line for me. all of that. That's recent trends that you largely picked up on social media. You're being controlled. But my point is, we'll come back to that. My point is right now for everybody, Donna, Pastor Tuck, Jason. Do you think it's a bridge too far for the fact that TikTok is probably going to be banned in the United States, if not totally, partially, unless they divest it and turn it over to the States? And that's nearly $7 billion of income that's probably going to be shut down or greatly limited on some level. Okay, it's already banned in certain or limited in certain states. There's time blockages. Do you think all of that is a bridge too far? Is it a slippery slope? Are we opening the door for other free speech or control, government big brother type control to be enacted in our lives? Question.
If they do ban it, they are something is already setting up to take its place. You can believe that. So something is already, because they know they're having issues with this. They know they're having trouble with this. China is, because it is, what's the name of it? ByteDance?
ByteDance, yeah.
Okay. So they know that, they are limiting this because you're talking about the number one social media platform in the United States.
Yeah.
And it would be higher than what it is, but they've been banned in certain areas. So it would be higher than what it is right now. And it definitely, something else is already, they're stirring the pot already with something else to take its place.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to open up something else. It definitely is going to open up for something else.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, you got to recognize that TikTok is already, like I said, been registered by the founder of TikTok's cousin, who is a U.S. citizen. So they gotten around all of that.
They said they got something.
And so,
out.
like she said, that's all they got to do is get one of their cousins over here to start another company, and it's already taken care of.
That's it.
But the fact you say, is it a step too far? Absolutely not. All they trying to do is they trying to stop China from spying on us.
But they already spying on us.
The Patriot Act covers it. They already got you. They already got you. You fail to understand. Once they enacted the Patriot Act, they can do anything they want to.
Wow. Jason Earls, thoughts, sir? Is that a bridge too far?
Man, we have become inundated with things that consume our time that draw us closer to the river of ignorance.
Yeah.
Say that. Say that again, Jason Earls.
Oh, that's good. The river of ignorance.
I wish Jason was on camera so you could give him a full screen for him to say that again. But let's give him a moment of silence. Say that once more, Jason, with clarity.
Yes, we become inundated, consumed, loved, being drawn to drink from this river of ignorance, man.
Yes.
And we spend most of our time doing things with these phones, man, that are not beneficial towards us.
Right.
So I'm like, man, somebody got to step in and help us.
That's the reason why I think it really does not affect me like it does everybody else. Because it's like certain stuff, everybody be laughing. I'm like, bro, that ain't funny to me. I don't do silliness. It's got to be funny to me. Some people just do stuff. It's just like, what? I'm like,
but Pastor Tuck,
some people just watch stuff just for the fact of people making a fool of themselves.
But I go back to
that's not funny to me.
I go back to I think for us, it's like for me, to be honest, y'all. To be honest, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm not a big social media person. Ironically, because I post a fairly decent amount. My people on our team tell me I need to post a lot more. Yeah. And that's why I pay people to post for me even sometimes, because I just don't have the mental bandwidth and nor the time to post like that. And listen, y'all, you got to understand something. I'm legitimately not concerned with your personal business. I have enough stuff in my own life to keep me occupied mentally, physically, spiritually, and on every level. So I do not need to pull from your personal life to entertain me. Do I like it when I see certain things? Of course I do. Do I love it when I see the pictures of babies and I see people having children and I see people hitting different marks and milestones in their life? I love it. But do I need it like that? No. I can take it or leave it. But I think that's an age thing too, because I'm 51. Okay. And so I think a bit of that is it is generational. And but I fully am aware that most young people have a different perspective and a different mindset towards social media than we do. So Pastor Tuck, I mentioned that to say, I think for us, it's a lot easier to take it or leave it because of how old we are. Not to say that we're old by no stretch of the words, but I think our age is a big factor in that.
You know, and see, that's the thing. My wife, she loves getting on there and looking at the pictures of everybody's, like you say, kids and oh, you see such and such got married, you see such and such on vacation, you see this, that. I'm like, babe, I ain't know, because I don't check it. Like I said, I look at social media, I recognize it for what it is. It's a tool. And that's exactly it. Right. I use it for what it is. It's a tool. It's just like billboards or anything else. Right. It's an advertising tool. Right. So I use it for that, for ministry. It's a ministry tool. So if I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it. If I'm going to use it to get ministry, I know where to get it from. There's certain places on there, like I said, certain ministries that I follow that I can eat from. I can go if I want to see a word from North Garland Baptist Fellowship. Then I know where to go to their page. Go and get it. If I want to see if I want something funny, I know to go to Comedian Akintunde or Jason Earl's page, because I know those are people who I consider to be actually funny, and I'm gonna go directly there. I'm not a scroller, because it's just like, to me, eating out the trash can. You know, you gonna go and get what you want. No, I'm gonna go to the restaurant I want. I'm gonna select what I want. I'm gonna eat what I want, and I'm gonna leave. Some people are like, oh, they got on the buffet. No, I'm not a buffet dude, because it's like, it's a bunch of trash out here, and I'm not that guy. And so that's how I operate. But my wife's like, oh, this looks good. This looks good. This looks good. Oh, that wasn't that good. But see, I'm not even going through that process. I know what I want. And so I'm going to go get what I want. And that's how I consume stuff. Right. I can't stand program TV. I love the fact that we have on-demand TV now. Right. So that I can get only what I want when I want it. Right. I love on-demand. I've always been that way about music, everything else. And so that's why these algorithms don't affect me like that, because I don't like to be fed. I don't like people controlling what I consume. You don't like being programmed. Exactly. Which is why I want to make sure I leave us enough ample time to get into, because I as adults, we're programmed. Let me read some of the comments, and then I'm gonna swing. Jason, I know you want to say something, and I'm gonna swing back by and get. I want to make sure I give us clear time to talk about being programmed. Troy Parker said the problem I have with TikTok is the Chinese platform. It isn't accessible in China. Instead, there's a different version of TikTok, a child-friendly version with educational videos and a time limit. While TikTok pollutes our children's minds with nonsense, straight, hot, burning garbage nonsense. Troy, that's right. Leslie Ashley said, which would be Chinese company exploiting the lack of controls, just like Meta. Yep. Don't understand why different standards, because U.S. company. Yeah, because America allows stuff. We allow stuff that nobody else would. Nobody else does. But again, America, the government makes money by controlling us, and these larger companies, corporations, and organizations make money by keeping us lazy, complacent, and sedentary. So that, I mean, that's the game, y'all. That's the game. The food we eat, the billions that we make on food, whether it's fast food, whether that's whether that is being addicted to debt and income, like other companies, other countries don't live on debt the way we do. Oh yes, that's why people come over here with liquid cash and start business. Do their thing. Say that again, Jason, please.
I said all prescription medicine.
All prescription medicine.
Yes.
I'm gonna say something that's real dangerous, and I'm gonna be real careful how I say it.
Okay.
That's because we have a country that is of the people, for the people, and by the people. These other countries have governments that govern down. And if you notice, in the Bible, every time the people tried to govern
Every
themselves,
time.
it has ended in failure.
Yep. You want a king? All right,
So
go ahead.
as much as we like to tout that we are the greatest nation in the world,
Yeah, are we?
that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Wow. So let me talk about this. As adults, we talked about the conversation. We started up top talking primarily about young people. Again, based on the lawsuits that are currently right now, 1,200 of them. The majority of those lawsuits, and again, I haven't looked through all of them, but from what I can gather, the majority of those lawsuits that Don and I, when we got to compile the information, those are parents suing these companies based on their children. Their children's anorexia, their child having the depression, and in some cases, a child actually committing suicide.
Right.
Please understand, by no means are we minimizing or in any way making light or even normalizing a young person having extreme depression or anorexia to the point where that child, for whatever reason, will consider suicide. Please understand that. But we began talking about children. But the thing is, I think is the biggest issue is we don't recognize just how controlled we are as adults, as grown people. You think you make certain decisions based on style, or in style, whether that's financial decisions, even career decisions. Oftentimes, we think we're making those decisions based on our own thoughts. And oftentimes, you are programmed. I fully believe if you look at the political dilemma that we're in, okay? If you look at the economic dilemma that we're in, and if you look at the relationship dilemma, that where we are tearing down our families, with people men and women are walking away from good marriages and good relationships, in some cases based on a handful of videos you saw on YouTube. Not that somebody may say that's an oversimplification. It may be to a degree, but I think a lot of this foolishness that we're getting into concerning relationships, a lot of it is because we are following up social media in an intense and just like blind way, confusing to me.
Hashtag stupid relationship goals.
We're following behind these social media personalities.
Right.
That, they may not have a strong relationship themselves, but they're giving relationship advice.
Right.
And because they might look good or they speak well, we're following behind them and giving them millions of views.
Right.
And millions of
Hashtag
followers.
Will and Jada.
There you go. And this is what we aspire to. We want to be like this because they have all of these followers and they're such an influencer here, and we want to follow what they say. And they might be more jacked up than you.
Yeah. Well, in many cases they are.
Yes.
Might be. Yeah, that's the question.
But you know what? You know what's crazy is, and here's something that TikTok does that nobody else does. They make your stuff go viral quicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's true.
So, man, they giving more dopamine hits than anybody else. They they got that. They got that.
Mama, I'm your daddy.
They got that black magic. That what's the American Gangster? What was the heroin that he made?
Blue Magic.
Blue Magic.
Blue
yeah.
Magic. Yeah, they got that Blue Magic, dude. They giving dopamine hits like a mug. I mean, it's so many people that I know who aren't content creators have gone viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that makes them go to it even more.
Yeah.
So
Is 30,000 followers a lot on TikTok?
3,000?
You said
30,000.
Yeah. It's a lot, but it's people way more.
Dude, I got
one of the guys I know, one of the young men from my church. I saw one of his videos the other day. Somebody sent it to me. He got 30,000 followers.
What is he doing?
Okay.
And I'm just like, he's just walking around interviewing people. I mean, he got some where he's doing silly stuff, but I mean, he just.
Let me tell you something.
I don't think he's been doing it that long.
30,000 followers on. I don't have a total of 30,000 followers on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Now I probably have that on TikTok, but
Interesting.
I like so I think my Facebook stats, I've got around 12,000 followers on my comedy page on Facebook. I've got I think maybe 6,000 on Instagram and probably under 2,000 on Twitter.
That
And
ain't
I'm a
nothing, Jason. I
professional.
think I got about 12 on TikTok.
But what I'm saying is, so you take somebody like me who's been consistently building, trying to establish his base, his fan bases, his
Right.
following, his marketing appeal. I mean, spending a lot of time and even money on just videos because it's marketing for me. But then you take a TikTok, man. I got a video that blew up on TikTok so fast. It's like yo, what in the world? So then now that's why it's number one. Again, they got that blue magic going.
Yeah. And you mentioned something key. You mentioned something key, right? The dopamine. A lot of adults may not recognize that we're being controlled by dopamine. Dopamine is the pleasure center of your brain. It's a chemical that's released in your brain, and it's like this great euphoric feeling that this just washes over you. And when you scroll, when this little they've now understand and figured out that when we scroll on our computer screens, that little motion of scrolling, that it releases dopamine because you are seeking and searching for something that's going to give you a hit. So whether that's a cat video or a funny video or a baby video or something that makes you excited in your business or something that you agree with. Maybe it's something that makes you mad, that gets you riled up, that angers you. That's all of that is dopamine. And what it is dopamine is the equivalent of eating a box of donuts or a donut. Ooh. And if you're just sitting there and watching content over and over, it's like eating a box of donut. So
I'm laughing at Donna. You said a donut. Donna said,
that's too much sugar for me. I can't eat a box of donuts. But now a thing of popcorn, we have. There you go,
Donna. I will eat a whole dozen of Krispy Kreme by myself.
hot Krispy Kreme with the hot signs. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Matter of fact, I'm
with some
ashamed to
ice
say
cold milk.
I did it. I did it about 3 months ago.
A whole box, 12?
Not a whole box. I ate about 8 of them in the parking lot.
I had to be proud of myself. I drove past the hot sign while I was in Myrtle Beach. I had to be proud of myself. I drove past the hot sign.
I don't play with myself. I'll be honest with you. I don't do that very often. But when I do, I go in. I go slap off. Yeah, I don't play around with it. I showed incredible restraint. I drove past the hot sign, and it's so easy. It's so easy to do. But I immediately
in your
feel
mouth.
I feel it in my body within hours.
In Texas, they got a Krispy Kreme right beside a Chick-fil-A.
Good Lord!
like,
oh my God! That is a terrible combination.
Look, Jason, can you imagine taking 2 Krispy Kremes and putting a piece of Chick-fil-A chicken in between them?
I guarantee you somebody done did that.
No, wait. My supervisor, my previous supervisor, after Thanksgiving, he would bring in the rest of the turkey with Krispy Kreme donuts and put them in the. My fellow employees, they would eat that thing. He put a little gravy on it or something on this piece of turkey and put them in between 2 Krispy Kremes and heat it up.
Wow.
They was going crazy for that thing. I was like, nah, bruh.
Here's what's interesting, Donna. What's interesting is how excited we've all been for the past 120 seconds. As we've talked about Krispy Kreme and how excited I was listening to you tell that story about your coworker. Like I was tasting the turkey and the donuts. In my mind,
I'm just upset right now because there's no Krispy Kreme in Lynchburg. I'm just so upset right now. See, you have to understand. I don't get that dopamine hit from scrolling. I don't get that. But Pastor Stephanie, Krispy Kreme, That does it for me.
He said Pastor Stephanie and Krispy Kreme. Let me tell you something. You need to keep your little what y'all do at the house to yourself. Pastor Tucker's putting business in the street. Y'all, Jason, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Look,
I heard
look. Those two are mutually exclusive, but they could go together.
Oh my God. Hey, Paul Briggs said, you talk about you was excited. Paul Briggs said, I was so excited I pulled over to comment. And he said,
Oh, that's
man.
funny. Oh, that's funny. Leon says, someone told me they blessed our department with a dozen hot Krispy Kreme donuts. I couldn't find them in the office, but when I asked my supervisor, she handed me a box with 2 left for the rest of us. Let me tell you something.
Ooh,
if you give them to me, that might be what happened.
We were selling Krispy Kremes for a fundraiser in college. And you know how you get the boxes and sell them?
Yeah, oh
Man,
yeah.
we had ate about 6 boxes before we got back to school.
Oh my God.
It was about 30 minutes back to campus. Man, we had already dropped about 6 boxes before we got back to campus, bro.
Now y'all owe the school to $72.
Yeah, we already in the hole. We already in the hole.
But what we're talking about here, what we're talking about in food for us. And I think it's for everybody. Let me stop separating us from, because utilizing age to somehow separate us from the effects of social media.
Right.
And because truth of the matter is, all of us on some level have some type of addiction.
Yep.
to social media. I will say this right here. I don't mess with TikTok very often simply because I do not have the time. And when I go on there, I told y'all, the reason why I came up with them That's the Devil videos is because I spent this one particular Friday. Unissa was out of town. Elijah was out with his girlfriend. Nobody was at the house. It was just me, and I'm sitting down there watching TV, and while I'm watching TV, I started watching TikTok. I burnt an hour and a half straight scrolling videos on TikTok, and I was like, good Lord, this is addictive. You mean to tell me I burnt an hour and a half sitting here? And it was just video after video. And once that algorithm figured out what I wanted, oh my God, it fed it to me in spades. I'm talking about just like, I'm talking about video after video of ignorance and foolishness and I'm talking about funny stuff, people falling, all kind of like redneck racing and all kind of people playing tricks on their husbands and their wives and people falling, doing sporting events. And I'm talking about video after video after that algorithm figured out what I wanted. I watched this dude. It's this guy. I've got what he calls. He calls himself a redneck. Something like it's like redneck cooking. Man, I watched so many of that dude's videos, and to this day I can remember what he said. And he said, and while we wait, we hydrate. Man, I watched probably 15 or 20 of them videos of that dude cooking this and frying that and barbecuing this. And every time he'll turn it on, and while we wait, we hydrate. I'm talking about I burnt so much doggone time. Now,
I want to. I hear what you're saying as far as it's not an age thing, but like I tell you, for me, I have no addiction to this stuff. If I literally had somebody else who said, I'll take care of the my church social media, you can delete all my apps off my phone. I wouldn't miss them, but I would not check it at all.
But what are you addicted to?
I'm addicted to television.
Okay.
Oranges.
Okay. So which is it's a different source of dopamine.
And when I say I'm addicted to television, I'm not addicted to television like I watch television to relax.
Got it. Right.
And
check out.
For me, it's like that's how I relax my mind. I turn my mind up because my mind goes all the time.
Correct.
And so it's not like I'm sitting there like, oh, I gotta watch some TV. It's like when I get ready to relax, I have certain shows I like to watch. I have certain type of shows I like to watch, but I'm not addicted to anything but Pastor Stephanie.
You okay? But here's the whole
and
thing.
Fruit.
I said oranges, but y'all let that slide.
Fruit. I could not literally not live without her, and that and Pastor Stephanie are the two things I'm totally addicted to.
Watch this right here. I messed around because you mentioned before. I never watched it. Now I heard Bishop Bailey mention it preaching and utilizing it as an example, as an illustration in his message on Sunday, and then ironically, Unissa was looking at it. Last night, I watched about 15 minutes of that Married at First Sight show. Oh. Now my problem is it's hard for me to watch a train wreck, and to me I'm like this is hot garbage right here. That decision y'all making there is hot garbage, right? But I see just how vested you can get in a short period of time. Now the difference between TV and social media is you controlling what you watching. You have curated your list. You have made a decision. I'm going to watch Married at First Sight. It's not like you watching Married at First Sight and then they show you Jerry Springer on the side, or which I take that back because they got an algorithm. At the end of it, if you watch all of it, it might show, hey, if you like that, people who like Married at First Sight also like The Bachelor.
Look, yeah.
So all that's algorithm.
They try.
It's better than social media, which gives you so much foolishness and garbage in such a short period of time that you don't even recognize you being programmed. But okay, in the past few moments, I want to get everybody's thoughts on the long term. Kimberly talking about, I hate The Bachelor. Boy, you better not say it around your Nissa mom. Mother E, is she here today? Let me see if she's here today.
Can I ask you one question?
She loves The Bachelor.
Hey, if your child was a contestant on The Bachelor, would you be telling everybody, hey, tune into The Bachelor? My daughter's on there.
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay, I just asked it, and I'm not gonna say any more about that.
I'd be boldly.
I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen before, and I wondered, did anybody else? Was everybody else's thought like mine?
Here's my whole thing with all them shows like
watch
that.
It, bro.
Hey, I would be in such protest. Like my child, by the time I finished tweeting her, texting her, she would know, man, my daddy is so sick with this whole mindset. I'm like, you bet not. Listen, you bet not. You bet. I'm talking. It's like, I don't understand people going on there and just exchanging herpes. You just kissing on people that you don't. Come on, man. Come on.
All I'm gonna say is, I have seen somebody, and they were sending out like she got a roll on a Young and the Restless.
Oh my God. Boy. Young and the Restless ain't but 2 steps.
Ain't but a high step. Yeah, ain't but a high step.
I'm talking about 2 short steps above The Bachelor. I'm sorry.
My last random comment, and it is social media related. Y'all remember that video that we watched about the dude stealing the gas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My arm's too long.
Video.
Yeah.
Did you know that was a fake video?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
He got another one on there too.
I just found that out the other day because somebody sent me another video of the dude getting in trouble for stealing somebody's dog.
Yes.
And I was like, bruh, dude is out here literally making. I'm like, this looks like the same dude at the gas station.
I said the same thing. I said, man, that thing is set up.
That's
and
a fake video.
Terrible.
The video of with the couple, with the girl getting upset because the guy wouldn't bring her other children McDonald's. That stage. Yeah. Hey, watch this right here. Steve Harvey Strawberry Letters. All of those are staged too.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's
Stage.
crazy.
They got literal writers. There are people who write those.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jerry Springer, the last 4-5 seasons of Jerry Springer, those shows were staged.
Oh yeah.
Because they essentially ran out of idiots. They ran.
That's hard to believe.
They ran out of people that dumb, doing that level of stupidity to come on TV and talk about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What about Maury? You are not the father.
I can't say for sure. My thought is that probably some of those are staged. But it's a lot of people out here freewheeling.
That was entertaining, though.
I started to apply for it. I was me and my kids.
You got to be a good actress because you got to fall down on the floor. You got to cry and snot and everything. You got to pull your hair out and run backstage. You got to be athletic to be on that show.
I did want to write
all 6 kids
because my kids look so much like me.
It's impossible. It is.
I wanted to write a skit like, them ain't my kids.
Hey,
look at them.
Hey, the mom and
They look
pop,
nothing like me.
the mom and pop Earl kids, them jeans, the mom and pop Earl jeans are strong, sir. Them, ain't no doubt who their grandparents is and who their daddy is.
So about 2 minutes long. We don't need to do a DNA test. Them your kids. Get out of here, boy. Get out of here.
Hey,
Nope. At the end, they're going to say, you are not the father.
Let me tell you something. If Jason walked in my courtroom strong as them jeans are, I said, sir, if I run this test, I'm putting you in jail. I'm putting you you going to jail for making me run this test, sir.
Going to jail for coming up in here.
Leslie asked you talking about you can't control a full freewheeler. Okay, Todd is having a confession. Todd said, I watched Bridezillas with my wife and daughters and told them they better not. I know a lot of what was staged. Yeah, listen.
Bridezillas, yeah.
To a person who has worked on television shows and a person who's had my own reality show deal, the majority of that stuff is staged. They take very little elements of it to take and expand into a full storyline.
It's a lady at my church that was on Bridezilla.
Okay, and what did she say? How much, to what degree was that staged?
She took it because it was a gig. That's like,
wow.
Yeah, it's fake. It's all scripted, dude. Wow. That's why she took it. That's why she was on there.
She trying to get her IMDb up.
Yep. Bridezillas.
Wow. Our pastor, Dr. Marsha and Kendra, they were on, what was the show? The Choose the Dress. Say yes to the dress.
Say yes to the dress.
Say yes to the dress.
Yeah. They were on that, but it was no drama, no foolishness. Let's get into some more of y'all comments before we get up out of here. But my thoughts is this right here. Here's a question for you. This wasn't planned, but here's a question that just came to my spirit, I believe. Do you recognize just how controlled you are? What signs, Donna, Pastor Tuck, Jason, what signs in your personal life, your personal habits, show you that you are controlled or addicted to media? I'll go first. I'll be fully transparent. Myself, I know I have an addictive personality, right? It's for me, that's good and bad. Okay. I've been addicted to my wife for 30 years. Okay. Okay. I've been a member of the same church because I get the word and it was so impactful in my life. What I like. You know, I'm pretty consistent in some areas, right? But I also recognize too that if I don't watch myself, I could burn 2 hours watching TikTok videos. I can, and have done so. I have sat on the commode, full transparency, until my legs go to sleep. I'm like, God, dog, I can barely stand up here. I can't even feel my feet. Why, sir? Because you've been sitting there watching TikTok videos for the last 25, 30 minutes. Okay, so I recognize I have an addictive personality, and I have to watch myself. And it probably, if I wasn't an entrepreneur whose literal finances is dependent upon what I do on a daily basis, I probably would not be probably would not be able to resist it and discipline myself as much as I simply have to. Okay, that's me. I know there's some elements of me that is addicted to social media. Donna, yes. Pastor Tuck, Jason, y'all thoughts?
All right.
Come to the comments too.
This is how I know when that I'm addicted to social media, because I'm doing like this and
you fall asleep.
You know that you know it.
Yeah.
And this little silver can too. I'm not putting it out there, but you'll know what this is.
Yeah.
You know,
It's cracking the can.
popcorn, you know, I'm addicted to that. But I'm not addicted to working out. And that's what I want to be addicted to. I want to be addicted to working out, but I'm not. And I got to give up one of these things so I can get addicted to working out. But other than that,
to work it out.
yes, that's where I am. That's where I am. And cheese.
Ooh, that
I
cheese
want to give up
else.
cheese. I got to, you know what? If somebody help me to give up cheese? I need help.
You know what? Sometimes, you know, like they say, you just got you got to push away. You just got to tell yourself, I'm just not going to do it. I'll tell you what to reset you though. I don't know if you want to do this. Do you about a 4-5 day water fast?
It called me, man. It was like, come here.
Do a water fast.
And I look in the refrigerator because I tell you, I've said this many times. In my refrigerator, you're going to find water and cheese. If nothing else, you're going to find water and cheese. And that's it. And that's for real. Right now, I got cheese in there and water. So,
Somebody got cheese. I got cheese. Somebody got cheese. I got cheese.
So no matter when the last time you went to the store, you can guarantee some cheese and there's some water in there.
Cheese and water.
Trying to be destitute, being there with her little friend. Ben, the two of us.
Yes, I love that song. I was like, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, Ben. It's just me and you. We got some cheese.
And Joe kill that rat.
And it don't matter what kind of cheese.
Quick sidebar before I swing over to Pastor Tuck with his thoughts. I always said when I saw the Jackson movie, Joe Jackson did not kill that rat because he was trying to be mean to Michael Jackson. He killed that rat because there was a rat in the house.
That's right.
And he did not know.
That's right.
That was Mike's son. People give Joe a bad rap. Joe again. Joe got them kids ready. Anyway,
He did. He did.
Pastor Tuck, addictions, yours.
Yes,
What are you addicted to, sir?
Oranges.
It's more than oranges.
Jesus.
It's more than oranges.
Jesus, Pastor Stephanie, and fruit.
Pastor Tuck.
There you go.
That's my addiction.
Pastor, come on now. Come on. It's more than that.
Addiction.
It's more than that.
That's my addiction.
It's more.
Those are the things I cannot do without.
Okay. What are some other things that maybe they're not on the level of Jesus, Pastor Stephanie, and fruit? There are some other things.
What's number 4?
Now the number 4 is Kai and Courtney.
Okay.
What's number 5, 6,
And
7?
Of things that I cannot do without.
That I'm not gonna say you cannot do without them, but they are an addiction. You know you addicted to them. Come on now.
I don't have addictions. Like I said, I have things I like everybody else, but I don't have addictions beyond those. Besides, like I said, Jesus, Stephanie, fruit, Kai, Courtney. That's it.
Wait,
I'm gonna tell you,
Is Pastor Stephanie in the room
I grew up around people who have addictive genes. And when I was drinking 100 miles an hour,
yeah, you used to drink.
I would, and I to this day, I defy anybody to tell me they could outdrink me.
Ooh.
And
I know some people who can.
oh no, you ain't never met nobody on this planet that could stand toe to toe with me. I'll buy half a gallon of liquor and sit there and put you down on your behind.
Now Jason will smoke you under the
and
table.
never throw up.
Jason will smoke you under the table now.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't smoke. But I'm trying to tell you, alcohol. And even at that, I would quit cold turkey and stop drinking for 6 months at the thought that I needed a drink. I remember I came home from class one day and was like, man, I need a drink. And I was like, what you say? Because I don't like to be controlled.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, that list literally are the only things I cannot do without. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't going to bed without fruit. Period. I ain't going to bed without Pastor Stephanie.
What shows do you binge watch? Because
I binge watch any show that I like.
if you can, let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, if you can watch something for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours straight, that's a mild addiction.
Oh, really?
Yes,
It's something I like because I don't have to watch it.
you
cannot watch it
because you already watched it.
Mild? Okay, let me ask you
I
this.
don't have to watch it. That's something I like. That's something I choose to do.
If
See,
I
an
leave
addiction
my
is something you
house
can't
for
stop
7
yourself from
hours,
doing. Can you
If
put
I
your
leave my
phone
house
down
for
and not
7
watch
hours
TikTok
smoking
for a
crack,
week?
Is that an addiction? A mild addiction?
Hold on, both of y'all
What'd
going at the
he
same
say?
Say it
time.
again?
What'd you say?
I said, if I leave my house for 7 hours to smoke crack, is that a mild crack addiction?
Oh, that's a full blown addiction.
Yeah, 7 hours.
No,
Ooh.
my question
So
is
why
this.
is it that binge watching something for 7 hours is a mild addiction?
Because this is the thing.
Because we've
That's a
shifted our
full blown,
culture.
man.
Can you, because this is the question. Can you go without smoking crack for 2 weeks?
What, Pastor
I ain't
Young,
never smoked crack
if you
first,
watch,
I
though.
but
never
here's the whole
smoked
thing.
crack.
Wait. That's the difference between an addict and a user.
Yeah, but here's the
We're
difference.
talking
though.
about an addict. This is my question to
You
you.
both smoke crack.
Can
It's the same to me.
you put your phone down and not watch TikTok for 2 weeks?
Who, me?
Yes, I can.
Oh yeah, I can. Oh,
Yes,
most
you.
definitely. Yeah, I can. Most definitely. Oh yeah.
Do it. This is a challenge.
Yeah,
Do it.
I don't watch. I don't watch TikTok like that. Because I know I don't play with it. Like I do it all the time. Like literally, if somebody don't tell me, or like I follow Gary V marketing, right? And Gary V like, you need to be posting on this, you need to be posting. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go back on it. I think I got 4 videos on TikTok. 4 personal videos of mine on TikTok. Okay, I don't go on TikTok like that because I cannot afford to burn that much time up. I'm not even saying it. It's just because I'm so disciplined. It's simply because I simply do not have the time. So for me, I can go without watching it, right? But I know I like it. That's another thing too. That's something for me because of my family lineage. My father was an addict. My father it cost him even my relationship with him, and he admitted. So I'm not saying anything that I'm not disparaging my father's honor or any way dragging his name or anything like that. He fully admitted that addiction to drugs wrecked his adult life. Right. So because of that, I recognized early on, you, sir, you are no better than your father in terms of your flesh. The spirit man allows you not to go down that same pathway. Right. So I don't feed my flesh in that regard because I know, dude, that's why I never smoke weed. I don't smoke weed because I disagree with it or I disagree with it now. But back then it wasn't because I disagree with it. I know, dude, you would be a crackhead. I know weed for me would lead to cocaine. Cocaine would lead to crack. And I would be the dude who, like, I've been on the road with that comedian, and it's showtime, and nobody know where this dude is. And the club owner comes over to me and say, I'm not gonna call the comedian's name because they're still working today. The club owner comes over to me and say, look here, if old boy don't walk in that door, you gotta go up there and you cannot come off until I tell you until I get somebody else in here. I'm like, dude, I ain't got that much time. I'm a young comic. Okay? You like, oh, like I said, you stay on stage.
He was stretching you.
That's an opportunity.
The Lord was stretching you.
That was an opportunity.
Yeah, until you get to 27 minutes and you know you're going to your closing, you got nothing else after that. Yeah, okay, that ain't stretching.
The Lord was stretching you.
That is horror. That is horror.
Start picking on the people in the audience. Is that what you did? Start picking on the people in the audience.
No, Donnie, you do that up front.
Oh.
You do that up front to pad yourself on the back end. Okay, I'm gonna talk to the audience for 7 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I'll start my joke.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be running out. You want to try to use the fluff at the front.
Right, because if the fluff don't work, you can always go to your jokes. But you don't want to go to your jokes and then try to fluff at the end because now you're gonna land weak. But no, I recognize
patience is already thin at that point.
Exactly. Oh, I done been on stage and everybody's like, hey man, where the headline at?
Oh gosh.
Hey, bro. hey, where the headline at, man? I'm like, hey, when I tell you that is a horrific feeling.
You know what?
Passing point. On stage, opening up for Dolomite and Cedric the Entertainer. The promoter doesn't have Dolomite's money. Cedric can't come out because if he comes out, then you go to the end of the show. He's the headliner. So Dolomite is backstage waiting for his money. The promoter comes to me and says, he gives me this sign right here, which is the universal sign in the entertainment industry for stretch.
Stretch it.
Hands,
Stretch it out.
Hands in, out. Hands in, out. I'm like, okay, I'll stretch it. I did that pretty good. I must admit, for about 20 minutes past my jokes. Then after a while, somebody said, "Hey man, hey bro, where Dolomite at, cuz?"
Like, he in the back, player. They ain't paid him yet.
No, I couldn't say. This is what I said. This is why I messed up. I roasted dude for a little while. This is the problem where I messed up at. I said, "Hey, bro, I'll bring out Dolomite when I'm good and well ready to." Oh no! Boo! Them Negroes universally booed me in there.
No. Dolomite in the parking lot with your grandma.
Dolomite on the porch.
Hey, this is when you. This is the worst. This is the worst phrase that you ever will hear in a comedy club or a comedy setting. You on stage and somebody yelling from the back, "Kill yourself." Kill yourself. Who tells someone to kill himself? Who says that?
Look, that's where you go.
Kill yourself.
Your mama and walk on stage.
What I should have did was walk my behind off stage and told that joke and say, "Bro, let me tell you something." Now wisdom nowadays, I'm like, people come up to me, "Hey, can you do more time?" No, I ain't doing more time. No, I'm gonna do the time you told me to do. If I'm a headliner, yeah. But if I'm not, no, sir, I ain't doing no more time. I'll do how much time I'm contracted to do, and then you need to let the DJ play some music or let the band play. You ain't about to kill my career in here tonight because somebody want to see Chris Tucker and he not ready to come out. I'm sorry, that's not happening. Anyway,
we have got to do. Look, like I'm producing here in the moment.
There we go, Donna.
We have got to do some of you, Jason, and Pastor Tuck, because Pastor Tuck, you on stage too before the world. So see what were like some of your most your funniest moments, your most difficult moments, and how did you get out of that? How did you get out of that? We got to know some of that. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Unfortunately, I have too many of those.
Oh, that's good. That'll take up an hour and a half. So
Look, the crazy thing is, I got some ministry stories now. I got some stories.
I know the church people was getting you. So.
Oh my God.
My God.
Oh my God.
Yo,
the roast.
Oh my God.
We got to get up out of here, and I got to use the bathroom. Listen, too much information. Final thoughts. Dangers of social media. TikTok ban and more. The question of it is today, are you addicted to social media? Okay. And do you realize, as grown people, as adults, are you in any way addicted to social media? Final thoughts coming around to the crew, and I'm going to the comments, read a few more comments before we get up out of here. I'm sorry, y'all, we got a full Go to Kingdom Business shout out of the day. We are 11:47 a.m. We way over time. I'm sorry, Donna. Donna be on me. See, Donna don't bother Pastor Tuck and Jason, but she be on me. Y'all got to stay on time. Y'all got to stay on time. Gentlemen, stay on time. Go. Final thoughts, y'all.
Donna just want her cricket letter. That's all
I
that is.
just said cricket letter.
That's all she want. She don't care about the Kingdom Business shout out. She just want her cricket letter. That's all she want.
That thing that's fire to me. I just look forward to hearing the cricket letter.
That's funny.
Yeah. But
final thoughts. I'll start with you, Donna.
Okay. Watch what you're consuming.
Okay.
And if you have a household, watch what your household is consuming.
Oh, that's good.
Don't go down the rabbit trail, following behind everybody else, and try to limit your addictions to social media. I mean, you're not going to get people to totally stay off social media, but watch what you're consuming and consume what you like, but be aware of what you're consuming.
Real quick, Donna, give somebody an example of how you get caught on a rabbit trail.
Going down, you're just watching nonsense. When you are losing hours of time when you can spend with your family, creating a business, working, creating money, income, creating generational wealth, getting out there and getting your health in line. If you are wasting time, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours on any social media, or especially like TikTok, and you're not making money off of that, then you're kind of wasting your time. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
Pastor Tuck, sir. Final thoughts, sir.
I'm going to pull a Jason Earls. The Bible says.
Okay, here we go.
Guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life.
Issues of life.
So we've got to be careful what we take in, because that's going to produce issues within our life. So you got to guard your eye gate, your ear gate, your mouth gate. The things that you're actually consuming are going to produce issues in your life. So you got to be careful about that.
And you got to say it like in your life. You got to put that
Yes,
bottom
in your
joint
life.
in your life.
In your life.
Reverend Earls.
Yes.
Is Jason still in the building? You know, Jason will hop off and go into a conference.
Right.
He be on a full pastoral conference in the middle of the show.
Yep.
Okay, let's assume he
That's
is.
it.
He shows he's still in the building. I don't know if he's still there or not.
He might be in the bathroom. Kimberly said, people have to realize drugs aren't the only thing you can be addicted to. I fully agree. Yeah, Pastor Tuck is addicted to oranges. I think Pastor Tuck has a mild addiction to Married at First Sight. I think he does.
No. My family watch that even more than I do. I watch it with them because that's one of our family interactions. We sit around together and just talk about the foolishness. I use it as a teaching tool for my daughters so that they know how to identify fools when they show up.
I will say I agree with you. That's borderline gaslighting. But anyway, I agree. I hear you. I'm reading some more comments. Kimberly said, I deal with people who have dual diagnosis of drugs and mental. They're all hooked on TikTok too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. And TikTok ain't nothing to play with. Cause hey, Pastor Tuck, I know you're not addicted to it. You don't mess with it. But I tell you this much: it'll mess around to find out what you like, and it'll feed you that. It might be gun videos. Like you might you might like for me. I tell you, like for me, another one of mine. Instagram gets me on this. I watch hair videos. I watch before and after haircut videos, and before and after like people doing like I'll watch a woman give somebody a razor cut or put a weave in, a quick weave or something like that, and turn around and like those videos get me. And guess what? If I gave you my phone right now, Donna, and you went on Instagram, a good 40 to 50% of them are hair videos because it knows what I like.
Right.
So it'll find out what you like, Pastor. It's something that you like. There is something that you will waste up a good amount of time on. And it'll find it out.
It ain't enough videos of Pastor Stephanie out there for them to show me.
All right now. All right.
Especially when I got the real one right here beside me. So
He know what he likes.
I gotta find a theme song for Pastor Stephanie. When Pastor Tuck started talking about Pastor Stephanie, I gotta find a theme song. I gotta find it.
Ain't nothing like the soul of a woman.
Ooh.
Hey, Johnny Gill, baby, that's my jam for. That's my ringtone for my wife.
I hear you. Todd said, I find myself a lot of times doing something productive on my tablet / computer. Then a news or YouTube notification will pop up on that would take me off track. Todd, bro, let me stop the music. Bruh, that is it for me right there. It'll be something that's going on, and then here come a video about something with news or something with comedy. I can resist the comedy stuff a lot of times, but something with news yesterday I got caught in the middle of the day yesterday watching the video watching the news feed from was that Houston? Where was it? No, Nashville. So now I'm following the whole day the story of 6 people being killed in Nashville. Now, truth of the matter is, now you're emotionally vested. I could have pulled out of that and then went and really, because by the time you know what's done happened, I could have watched that to the end, or could have caught up on it at the end of the day. But that's the nature of these apps. That's the nature of our phones. That's the nature of social media.
That's it.
I'm a scroll. I'm gonna do the Price is Right scroll. I'm just gonna scroll and see where it stop at. Okay. All right. Leon said Geraldo thought he can control the outcome when he asked the wrestlers wrestling fake. When he woke up on the floor after getting slapped, he found his answer. Yeah. Wrestling's still fake though. Wrestling's still fake. Yeah, Leon. Geraldo, that dude did slap the fire out of Geraldo. I think Geraldo still got hearing damage behind that. I'm gonna give him another Price is Right spin. Okay, we'll see where it stops at. Leon said, another Leon said, you have to go through sloppy kissing strangers just to be on TV and get exposure into it in the industry.
Oh, wow.
It is too. I'm like, ugh.
Pastor Tuck, they have your song. Leon said she's a bad mamma jamma. And Kimberly Morgan said she's your queen to be.
No, this,
But she's already his queen.
No, this is my song right here.
Hold on. Turn down a little bit.
It's just like paradise.
Not that much.
It's a
Who's that?
That's Johnny Gill.
Johnny Gill.
Oh.
Johnny Gill and Ralph Tresvant. Yeah.
Don't ever wanna give up. That's my baby. Ain't nothing like the soul of a woman. I'm talking about the soul, yeah. You ain't got nothing make you feel like $1,000,000. That's my baby.
Which album is that off of?
Off his new joint.
Okay.
Him and
Game
Ralph.
changer.
Well, y'all should see. Y'all should see Pastor Tuck face. This joker done went full Gerald Levert on y'all. Listen,
Yes.
we got to get up out of here, y'all. It's 11:55. They got another room coming up here on Clubhouse. I got to get up. I'm going to give Donna just a little bit of came to business as we get up out of here. Listen, I pray y'all enjoyed yourself.
Yes.
I pray that the conversation sparks some thoughts. Coming up this Thursday, y'all, we'll be talking about AI, artificial intelligence. All right, I use it myself in my current business, and I love it. But it does bring me a little bit of pause. So we'll talk about that, kind of talk about the ramifications of it, some of the things that can come up out of AI, artificial intelligence. What does it all mean? And what can it really do? Let's talk about that coming up this Thursday. All right, fam, we got to get up out here. We way behind. I got a meeting. It's another room coming up. That's Donna J. That's Pastor Lewis Tucker. Jason had to have a counseling session. Hey, family, call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie and your uncle, and let them know that the Akintunde Show is now about to stop. Until Thursday, we're going to see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Peace.